Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. for the Radiant Mind Meditation with Dr. John Gray, the #1 trusted relationship expert, the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. What many people don't know is that John Gray spent 9 years as a celibate monk and the personal assistant to the founder of Transcendental Meditation. During this time, he learned powerful meditation practices and techniques, which he has developed and refined for the last 50 years. He now brings us his resonance, wisdom, and energy every week on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. on the Soul Search Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Join us every Wednesday. Good morning, everyone. I'm Tangela, the founder of Soul Search, and welcoming all of you to our Wednesday meditation with John Gray. This is the Radiant Mind meditation that John does with us every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. And it's a wonderful way for all of us to connect together in the quantum field and really create beautiful vibration and energy for us to take with us throughout the day and throughout the week. I see we have some messages coming in, messages from Yoni. Happy risings, everyone, now and in the future. Love to all. So thank you for the messages. And John, thank you so much for joining us today to lead us in another beautiful meditation experience.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And I'll just mention that the other day I decided to listen to one of my meditations and it was so good. Yeah, I think I highly recommend people to go back and hear the meditations. When we talk about the quantum field, everything is in the now. It's all present, and there's an infinite number of realities. But in this reality, you can be present with me, with Tangela, with everybody in this group. It's really very powerful. And this is going to be a healing the heart quantum meditation. And in healing the heart quantum meditation, I have to explain a few things. And whether you believe it or not, just flow along with it, because you might be imagining things. And ultimately, think about all the times when things look really, really bad, and then they turn out not to be bad, but we're imagining things to be worse than they are. And think about sometimes when we're disappointed, it's because we're imagining things to be much better than they are. So we want to be able to realize imagination, what we think and how we present ourselves in terms of what happened, what it will happen, what's happening now. We have a lot of control over if we just strengthen this ability to recognize we can all imagine. And this word imagine is a powerful word because different people look at the world through different lenses. Some people are more auditory. They hear their words inside. Some people are more visual. They sort of see things. They see pictures in their mind. And some people feel things, just a knowing, an intuitive knowing. All those are forms of imagination. And in that imagination, we could be visualizing, we could be just simply feeling that truth, knowing that truth. We could be hearing that truth, remembering what was said. And we want to employ all three to whatever extent we can. But many people feel that they can't visualize because they're not visual people. They're more auditory or feeling, knowing. So we're not going to use the term visualize. We use the term imagine, because everybody can imagine a red Crayola. You can imagine that. You can imagine a blue sky with white puffy clouds. You can imagine that. And often we say, oh, but I'm not seeing it like I would see with my eyes. That doesn't matter for these powerful exercises to work. So we're going to combine imagination with the experience of the quantum field. Now, that is not so much imagination. It starts with imagination, but as most people are experiencing, and others will continue to experience more and more, is the concrete experience of feeling the hands beginning to tingle, the fingertips beginning to tingle, the palms tingling, and imagine that lighting up that we go through. It's the activation of the energy channels in our body. And this energy flows into our body, and we could practice with our toes, but generally speaking, we're wired up through habit to touch, to feel things through our fingertips, to know things through our fingertips. Um, it's like in a dark room, okay, feeling around with your fingertips. Same thing. We don't have a concrete image of God. And God's a powerful word. It can be defined in many, many different ways that work for you, whatever you hold that as. But it's a way of focusing. If you hold an image as God, that's one process people do. It helps to make the imagination more complete. There's also the sense of intelligent universe. People say, okay, guided by the universe. I'm getting signs from the universe. I'm calling on the universe. I'm calling on my angels. Angels is a powerful word because it evokes a presence surrounding you. So we're going to call on angels to do a healing presence. I remember as a child, my mother was a healer, an energy healer, a spiritual healer, and I would have headaches as a child. I had a terrible concussion to my head, and she would put her hands on my head or above my head, sometimes touching, sometimes not touching, and call upon healing angels to surround me. And I would feel this tingling energy coming down into my body, and it would help. Sometimes it would take it away completely. So this is all using imagination to experience, in scientific terms, the life force energy that's flowing through our body. Uh, it comes from a source. And the reason imagery is good is because so much of the healing in our body and in our emotions takes place in the unconscious and subconscious mind. And the unconscious and subconscious mind doesn't use logic, so to speak. So it's not based on logic and concrete reality, but it's more based on a conditioned response, a mind that hasn't yet developed, but it's in there. It's all automatic. So we want to include the whole brain as opposed to having everything be analytically scientific, but we want to include the analytical scientific part of the brain. So we're going to go into a quantum field. That's what this experience that you have, which is one of expandedness, unboundedness, peacefulness, connectedness, softness. These are some of the experiences of this expanded awareness that we start out with our invocation of God. We bring the energy down into our bodies with an awareness, and we bring the energy back up. So you've got an up and a down movement. And this is just going into a flow state. Now, I could easily, with practice, you can just turn on your fingertips. I could just turn on my fingertips and I'm in flow state. For me, I just start talking and I'm in flow state. But the experience of this, it's literally like sitting in a bathtub of infinite energy just floating in that space. Many people describe it in so different ways. We all have our own descriptions. So not to compare your experience with others, but to continue to experience what you experience and let it become enriched over time. As many people say, what you focus on increases. So we're going to be focusing on our feelings. But first, the quantum field. Now, the quantum field, if you can think of it as infinity, all possibilities exist. And so imagine there's this world, and there's another world, another timeline, and another timeline, and another timeline, and a timeline, the future of that one, and the past of that one. And it's infinite. So just have a sense of infinite possibilities, the infinity. That means every possibility exists simultaneously with this one, past, present, and future. They're all moving along. And in this exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to imagine rising up out of this timeline. Here's our planet Earth. We're going to rise up to a control station. And in that control station, we're going to go to another timeline where things happen differently in the past or in the future or in the now. And we're going to go to the control center and say, oh, I was, my parents were angry with me as a child, let's say, or I felt lonely as a child and nobody was there for me. Well, we're going to go up into the timeline to another reality where an uncle or an aunt or an angel came to you and asked you, what are you feeling? And what do you need? And uh, what beliefs are you forming at that time that maybe like I'm alone, nobody's there for me, I can't get what I need. We'll find out what yours are at a time that was painful or difficult for you. What I've found is that whenever a child, a person, an adult, anyone, when you're experiencing a painful, difficult moment, we need to express what we feel, the emotions of what we feel. And if we can express those emotions of what we feel, and someone is there for us, even though the event happened, but in that happening of the event, like maybe the children, um, maybe someone died, or maybe you wanted something, you couldn't have it, or maybe you were excluded by others, whatever it might be, your parents were arguing and fighting, and you were scared. Whatever negative, painful moment in your childhood that we're going to work with, and take whatever comes up as we do this. Not have to try to figure it up now. I'll guide you into it. Whatever needs to come up will come up to be healed. The imagined memory of this painful moment will go to another timeline where the same thing happened, except somebody was there to hear your feelings and reassure you and promise that they heard you and they'll make a change. And then, so in that timeline, you're going to imagine getting that support. And then you're going to explore how it makes you feel. And having that feeling of realizing, oh, it wasn't my fault. Or, oh, I didn't know that one day everything would be okay. Or, oh, I didn't know that one day I would be healthy again. Or, you see, we don't know when we're children, or we don't know what's going to happen later. That creates fear. So much of our fear is that we'll die, or things will be worse. We imagine them to be worse. So in present time, we don't know what the future is, but we do in the past. We can relive things in the past, but at least we know we survived. And that takes a lot of the fear away. And if we can even go to another reality in our imagination. So we're just going to be able to go to another timeline where you experienced what you experienced in your past. But this time, a healing angel is there, a loving parent is there. Your parent has taken 10 classes with me on parenting and healing the heart. And so they're able to give you the kind of loving support that you deserve. And you'll see how beautiful this is as we go through it. Then we'll go back up, we'll come back into this reality, knowing ourselves better. And as we know ourselves better of who we truly are, then we can attract more of what we truly deserve and what we're here to receive, and free ourselves from the wounds of the past. So this is quantum healing. It's fun, it's enjoyable, but it has a few moments of darkness where we're going to have to remember some of the painful moments of our past to heal them. We can't heal something until we become aware of what it is we want to heal. And it's most powerful if we can feel the emotions of that time and then bring in the messages that we need to heal that part of us, and the emotions will leave us. And it's all a matter of imagination and intention. We do self-healing. So explaining it takes longer to actually do it. So we're now going to begin the process. We invoke, awaken the energy. So we put our hands in the sky. We take a few deep breaths with your hands up in the air. And this time we're going to practice a breathing into 4 and breathing out to 12. And this is hard for me to do and talk at the same time. We'll try it. Guys, breathe into the count of 4. And now breathe out to the count of 12. Breathe into the count of 4. And breathe out to the count of 12. Breathe in to the count of 4 without filling up your lungs completely. And breathe out to the count of 12. Breathe in to the count of 4. Breathe out to the count of 12. And as you do this breathing on your own now, for a few more minutes, conscious breathing, notice your fingertips. Notice them waking up. And as you breathe in, breathe out, you can now relax your breathing, holding the fingertips up in the air, arms all the way up. And in your heart, call upon the divine, dear God, conscious, universal, infinite intelligence, the universe, a presence, divinity, whatever you hold God to be, feeling our direct connection to source, the source of life. And then open our arms wide, dear God, our hearts are open to you. That's a feeling of openness, arms out. Dear God, our hearts are open to you. Come, please come. And bring your hands, elbows back down to the side of your body, fingertips up in the air. As you can see on the screen, repeat the movement a few times. Dear God, our hearts are open to you, arms out. Please come. Notice the palms and the fingertips and the fingers, sensations there. Just have your awareness on your hands, palms, fingertips. And we do this just to anchor this intention into our body, so it just becomes so automatic, so easy to connect with this divine energy. Hands all the way up in the sky, dear God, universe. Our hearts are open to you. Please come. Now, if we just looked at it logically, it's always already here. But we're saying, come into the awareness, come into our awareness. Help us to feel your presence. One more time, dear God, our hearts are open to you. Please come. Now, in part of my training, I basically just repeated, dear God, my heart is open to you. Please come. Thousands and thousands of times until I activated all the cells in my body. It's a wonderful meditation. Feeling the fingers tingling as we do this as a group, connecting us together in the quantum field. And now slowly turn the palms to come together as we set our intention. And today's intention is heal our bodies, heal our hearts. Heal the body, heal our hearts. And bring the hands close together but not touching. The reason not touching, you could touch, but it's easier to feel the subtle levels of energy. When we touch, sometimes we just go right to the gross physical level. So we're actually connecting with the energy field around our body, inside our body, throughout existence. The hands coming together over the heart, with our intention, calling forth the support, setting that intention. Now, just as a warm-up for some people who don't yet feel the energy field around their hands, slowly pull the hands apart. And then slowly coming back together. Whenever you go slow, you wake up more attention because we're used to doing things automatic. So we want to be mindful and present and just doing something very slow movements helps to increase the awareness. Notice how your awareness changes as you move your hands slowly back and forth. Now, there's a progression in these meditations I do, and never feel like you have to rush through them, because any of the stages are meditation. Part of moving through is just to not become bored. But also there's actual awakenings of different channels throughout the body and your heart as we go through these intentions and awarenesses, statements, and knowings. So as our hands are together, we repeat in our hearts, "Dear God, our hearts are open to you. Please come. Heal the body, heal the heart, heal our bodies, heal our hearts." And we're now going to open our hands open as if making an offering. Let's see, I was trying to turn my phone off so it doesn't interrupt us. Dear God, our hearts are open to you. Please come. Heal our hearts. Heal the body. And right now, use the frequency of the ocean and imagine the ocean in front of you. Use this water frequency. Imagine you're at the ocean, looking at the beautiful ocean or swimming pool. And certainly if we were actually sitting by the swimming pool, it would be a little more powerful. Water is a good healer of the heart. Using the water frequency, using the ocean. Heal our hearts, heal our bodies. Feel the hands waking up even more. It's like a triangle of the divine coming through the frequency of the water frequency, through our fingertips to our hearts. And then we move the hands from being out to down, to palms down. Now this is a circle movement. You can do the circle even slower. It's symbolic of the whole circle of our auric field and coming down. You can do that a few times. Let your hands go all the way up, coming down. And that's a symbol of it is done. Meaning that right now, using the water, send your angels to heal the heart, to heal our bodies. Right now, using your angels, by your angels, using the water frequency. And by angels, it's just a poetic way, more feeling way of the divine energy. So using the frequency, water, send the energy right now. And then palms open. Thank you. It's done. We've set the intention. And now what do we want to do with the intention? Let's go through it one more time. So waking up everybody's energy, because as people join in, more people do it, helps everyone to experience more clearly, more fully the energy. So hands all the way up. Dear God, our hearts are open to you. Please come. Heal our bodies, heal our hearts. Use the water frequency to heal our hearts right now. Using the water frequency, send your energy, surround us with your healing angels, palms open, resting, relaxed. Thank you. And then that word, thank you. It is done right now through your grace, by your angels, using the water frequency. We are receiving, the channels are open to receive your healing energies. As you feel the awakening of energy, let that energy now move. Imagine it moving to the elbows. Being aware of the space from your palms to your elbows. There. Now let's imagine it going up to the shoulders. And let's imagine it filling our whole chest, heart and lungs. This is called body scanning with the awareness of the energy, activating all the cells in the body and the heart and the lungs. And going down now to the belly, including on the right side of the body, the liver, the stomach on the left, the spleen, the intestines, the microbiome. Imagine the billions of little microbes all vibrating in light, positive frequencies. Imagine your kidneys being filled with light, regulating the fluids in your body. Being aware of the chest, the belly, and the back. Letting that awareness, the tingling energy coming from your fingertips to the elbows, to the shoulders, to the chest, to the belly, to all the organs. Filling up with light and love, healing energy, down to the knees, to the ankles, the whole leg being filled with light, to your feet. And we have lots to do in this meditation, but just this is enough just to know, not to be rushed, just to take the time to feel the different parts of your body, drawing energy, breathing in energy in a sense, from the fingertips, up the shoulders, down the body, to the toes, to the legs, to the toes, back up the back of the legs, to the spine, base of the spine. And from the spine, slowly moving up, not in a hurry to get all the way to the top. Just go a few inches, a few more inches. That's 6 inches up. From the base of the spine, 6 inches up. Now from the base of the spine, another 6 inches up behind the belly. And now another 6 or 8 inches up or more to behind your heart center. As we move to the heart, feel the emotion of love, gratitude, happiness, peacefulness. Just let the energy flow from the base of the spine to the heart, and think about someone that's easy to love. Just imagine sending them the message, I love you, I'm grateful for you, I'm happy for you. And now let that energy and awareness flow all the way up to the neck. Neck is connection, expression of self, communication. Feel the energy flowing from the base of the spine up to the neck, from the fingertips up to the elbows, down the body, up the spine. A nice flow, filling the back of your head with light, golden white light. And then let the energy flow from the back of the head to the forehead, connecting like a line of light to the center of your head. And from that center, send a line of light and energy to the top of the head. And imagine a ball of light above the head, creating a triangle from the top of the head to the forehead, to the back of the head, to the top of the head. And from the top of that triangle, put a ball of light by your right ear and a ball of light by your left ear. Connect those balls of light to create a pyramid. Surrounding your head, filling you with golden white light. And from the forehead, let the energy now go down to your throat, back down to the heart, back down to the belly. Let it relax. Back down to the base of the spine. And once again, from the base of the spine, bring the awareness back up to the top of the head. And then bring the awareness back down to the base of the spine. And now imagine you can simultaneously send energy up the spine, drawing it down so it becomes a wheel, circulating up and down simultaneously. And going slow in the beginning of this meditation together, we're just opening channels so they can stay open all the time. No rush to get this done. Just noticing, being aware of a flow, flowing up and down simultaneously. Using the water frequency Imagine the energy flowing up and down. And as we allow that flow to exist, we're going to go on a little journey into our past. So go back to a time when you were growing up. Where did you live? Maybe some of you lived in many places or one place. See what comes up in your awareness. Recall a time. Where was your early schooling? For me, it was River Oaks Elementary School. Maybe you can have a vague feeling of preschool, if there was such a thing. Imagine you can go to that time and place to feel what you felt at that time. Recall where you lived. Who were your parents? Who took care of you? Recall a time when you're being held by your mother. Recall a time when your father carried you or put you on his shoulders, played with you, lifted you, so strong, so big. As I ask these questions, maybe other answers come up or no answer comes up. Just notice that. We're just being aware of the past, for we have the ability to flow throughout the whole past. See what pops up as we put our intention into the past. Recall a time when you felt loved. Recall a time when you felt safe. And maybe what comes up is a time when you felt afraid. What were you afraid of? Go to that part of you now which was afraid, scared. Just connect with that childlike part of you. Because maybe sometimes in present time, you feel afraid and scared of the unknown. 90% of that is really that same part of you that when you were a child, you were scared. Recall a time that was painful or difficult for you when you were growing up. A time in the past. At that time that was painful or difficult, what were you afraid of? Afraid of being rejected? Afraid of being laughed at? Afraid of being alone? Afraid of being hurt? Afraid of not being good enough? Afraid of losing? Afraid of failing? Afraid of losing love? What was painful or difficult for you? What makes those moments so painful and difficult is our fear. And maybe our fears came true. But then why is that so painful? because we're afraid it won't change. We're afraid nothing will get better. Just let this moment be an exploration of a time in your life when you were in pain, when life was hard, life was difficult. Could be a little thing, could be a big thing. Fear. As we bring the light and the awareness to the time when that child was afraid, that part of us didn't know that one day things would be better. One day things would be better. We didn't know that. Maybe we were afraid we weren't good enough. We were bad. We'd lose love. We'd be punished. That we were powerless. That we couldn't change things. We felt trapped. We didn't know that one day we could become free. One day we will have the power to choose, to create our lives. We didn't know that. We bring that light, that awareness to that part of us into the past. And instead of having to wait many, many years to find ourselves, to know that we are worthy, that we can be loved, that we can make choices, that we can be free, that we can be in charge of our lives, that we are not alone. Instead of having to wait all that time to know the truth, we're going to go on a little quantum journey now as we feel this energetic field around us. Imagine going up the spine to the top of the head in a big ball of light, and become one as best you can. Feel one with that ball of light. It's always already there. It's a part of you. And that ball of light, imagine we're going to rise up into the sky 10 feet. And rise up another 10 feet. And rise up another 10 feet. Rise up another 10 feet. This ball is just rising up. Rising up another 10 feet. All the way up to 100 feet. And imagine that 100 feet doubling. The risen all the way up into the skies. Rising up. Speeding up. So if you were to be in that ball of light, you could look down now and see the earth. And as you look around in this quantum field, you imagine another earth and another earth and another earth. Like a whole grid of planet Earth. Infinite number in all directions. And in this ball of light, you imagine you have a control station on a screen. And you look on that screen and you see that child, the part of you in the past who's feeling painful. Life is difficult. Life is scary. Life is painful. Sad. Afraid. Just imagine you can see that part of you on the screen. And set the intention that we're going to send your ball of light to another reality where somebody's going to come and be there for that child. And that reality has a number. For me, what number comes up on the screen is 137. What's the number for you? And then in that ball of light, your intention says, let's go over to 137 or whatever your number is. And you go to another field where you're now floating above planet Earth, 137 or whatever number you have. And you, in that ball of light, you come down to that earth on another timeline, in another dimension of all possibilities. And you come down into that timeline, and you're standing before that little child who's feeling scared and afraid. And you're watching the whole thing. But in this timeline, someone comes to the rescue. Who is it that comes to your rescue? And they say, oh, I know you're scared. I know you're hurting. I know you're afraid. Tell me what you're feeling. Tell me what's going on for you inside. And you imagine in that timeline, you are in that timeline right now. You've gone to this other dimension, remembering how you felt, but this time someone's there to rescue you. And they simply say, what's the matter? What's painful or difficult? And you respond, I'm scared. And they say, tell me about it. And listen in your heart what you're afraid of, what's happening. Talk to that person. Maybe it's your mother, maybe it's your father, maybe it's an angel, an uncle, a grandparent. Imagine them sitting next to you on a bed as you talk to them. What else are you afraid of? What else are you thinking? What else are you afraid of? Connect with that part of you. And now that loving being is going to say, I understand you're so afraid. I know you're also so sad. What makes you feel sad? And you feel you can pour your heart out. I feel so sad. I feel so alone. I feel locked up. I can't do what I want. I can't have what I want. And that being says, I know you feel so sad. You feel so unhappy. What do you need to say to that person? What else do you need to say? Let that part of you speak. And then that person says, I know you're so sad. I'm here for you. And you have a right to be upset about this. You have a right to be angry about this. You can tell me you don't like this. You can tell me you're angry about this. It's okay to be angry about this. And let that part of you feel the anger inside of that little child. Give it permission to say, I don't like this. This is not right. And with the support of your loving parent, it's okay to be angry about this. It's okay to be mad about this. I hear you. What else are you angry about? Let that little child speak, or that being that you've connected with, that part of you that's angry, that's sad, is afraid, feels powerless, feels regret, maybe even feels, I don't want to be here, I don't like it here, I don't feel loved, I don't feel cared for, I don't feel seen. What does that little child need to hear? What do they need to hear to be healed, to heal this pain? Imagine now that loving parent, that loving being saying to you, everything's going to be okay. It's all going to be all right. I love you, and I will always love you. I will take care of you. Things will change. I promise you, things will change. I'll take care of you. I hear you. I will love and support you. I'm so sorry. I feel bad that you didn't get what you needed. I'm so sorry. I wasn't able to protect you, but I'm here now. I'm so sorry. I didn't know what to do, but now I do. As you imagine getting that loving support in this other quantum reality, it's still you, this other you. How would you feel with that loving support? How would your life be different? That you could ask for help and you could get it. That when you're alone, someone came and that person saying, I'm so sorry, please forgive me. I'm so sorry, please forgive me. It's my fault, not yours. I love you. I'll always love you. I'm so sorry, please forgive me. I love you. How would that make you feel? Can you feel the natural forgiveness response? I love you too. I forgive you. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for not forgetting me. Thank you for protecting me. Feel in your heart the gratitude you feel and the forgiveness you feel. Imagining suddenly everything now starts to feel so at ease and comfortable. You're not alone anymore. You have the love and support you deserve and you need. Feel peace. And in that moment, how do you feel about yourself? Feel I'm at ease, I'm relaxed. I can have what I want. I'm lovable. I am loved. What other feelings come up when you feel loved? I'm seen. I'm safe. And now it's time to come back and find those feelings in yourself here on this planet at this time. So imagine the ball of light above your head and you go up thousands of feet off of that planet. Come back to this timeline and to the control center above you here on this planet. And then come down into this body, bringing that experience that I am safe, that I am loved, and all that comes along with that wonderful feeling that I am seen and I am loved and I am not alone. Healing that little child inside of you, erasing the fears, filling the darkness with light. Your whole body filled with light, washed by the frequency of water. Once again, imagining the ocean in front of you and all that old dark energy flowing into the ocean. As you affirm, I am at ease and comfortable. I am loved. Let all the darkness flow out of you, all the fear flowing into the ocean. I am loved. I am not alone. I am seen. Feel the freedom of letting go of that old fear, taking it away. Letting the energy flow into the ocean. And as it flows out into the ocean, pure positive energy flows back to you, filling in the darkness with light. Feel the energy flowing out and now coming back. As the flow increases, now imagine that flow channeling through you, going back out. Energy flowing in and flowing back out. And as the energy flows out, imagine right now in present time, getting what you want. Feeling at ease and comfortable. Having people love and support you. Having people appreciate your work. What are your wishes? What are your wants? Imagine that coming true. As the energy channels through you from the ocean out through your fingertips into the reality, manifesting that reality of all possibilities. For as you change, reality changes. When you're in the quantum field, imagine the energy just flowing out, coming back in. As you imagine how you feel, as you get what you want, as you get what you need, the healing. How does it feel? And imagine yourself getting what you want. Then what are you going to do with that? Why is that so wonderful? Imagine getting what you want. Now what do you do? Now how do you feel? And now how do you feel about yourself? I love myself just the way I am. I'm strong. I'm caring. I'm good. I deserve to be loved. I'm radiating light. And the energy's flowing through. We just affirm, this is who I am. I'm in a world of abundance. I create that abundance wherever I go. I'm a magnet to attract success. I'm a magnet to attract love. As I reflect that love and give it back, send it out into the world. And we're going to end the meditation now. I'll count to 3. And when I get to 3, you'll open your eyes and feel relaxed and at ease and peaceful, ready to greet a great new day. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes. And that's our meditation for today. Let's sort of come out by one way is warming up the hands, feel a little warmth in the hands, good healing energy. You can put that on your over your eyes, over your face. You can sort of pat your body, come back into the body. Notice how you feel. And that's one kind of quantum healing, a journey. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that brings you peace and calm and confidence and awareness that you are loved. You are loved. You brought that back from another dimension, another timeline. Back that knowing. So that's one way to do it. I hope you enjoyed that. I do that from time to time. Whenever I want to change my reality here, I imagine going to another timeline where it is already happening. It's there. And with that awareness, I look at it's always already there. How does it make me feel? Learning about that part of myself, that truth. And I come back into this reality knowing that. And from the place of knowing our worthiness and what we're here for, and knowing that we are lovable, we're able to then change this reality by changing ourselves. And we're not really changing ourselves, we're awakening to the truth of who we always already are. So with that, Tangela, you might want to come back in and we'll make a few announcements for everybody. I think you want to turn on your microphone so we can hear you.
Thank you, John. That was very powerful. And we have a lot of comments coming in saying thank you, dear Mr. Gray from This Life. Tia saying, I love that, Dr. John Gray. I needed this. Listening from San Diego. Rosalind, thank you for the love. Muhammad Afzal, hi, John. Christina saying hi from Barcelona, Spain. Hoda from Egypt saying, please, dear Dr. John, how to connect to the higher self and the third eye. Sending lots of prayers and loves from Egypt. Gigi sending a lot of hearts and many more. So we have a lot of people tuning in from all over the world. Canada, Colombia, all showing their appreciation and thanks for the meditation. And Rosalind sending love back to you from Singapore.
Oh, isn't that nice? I really like connecting with everybody by your comments there all around the world. It's such a good feeling because we're connected and this one moment in time. I think we want to share with everybody that coming up here in August, we have this 6-week class where we will explore relationship mastery. We will discuss how relationships have changed today, how there's an opportunity to evolve our relationships into a higher level of love where we feel loved. We don't just trying to behave lovingly, but we can actually feel the radiant love in our hearts and our minds with our partners. This is a possibility. And in that class, we'll learn the actual fixes to do it. I think the consciousness is always already there. We've stepped into this new dimension where the potential is there, but it takes just some behavioral shifts. And I'll be teaching my behavioral hacks of various ways a man can do something within a few minutes and it will adjust a woman's hormones to come back into balance. And a woman can communicate in certain ways in responding to the man that will raise his healthy male hormones. As many of you know, I talk a lot about now the biological differences of men and women and the potential to experience feeling loved. So in our meditation, we experience the worthiness of love, the feeling of love. We want to manifest that into the world for single people to start dating, how to date, how to begin practicing these new tools for communicating in a way that can support us getting what we need. For people that are in relationships, how to rekindle those feelings of attraction, to understand the wisdom of polarity, how in your relationship, men can be more masculine, women can be more feminine, and that creates a magnetism, an attraction that can last a lifetime. And in that field of attraction, that attraction actually is love. It's desire that manifests into love. It's the same energy, but one is we're apart. Now we desire to come together in love. We're going to explore that reality and that possibility. not just as a concept, although we will understand it, is actual doings, what you can do. After every session, we'll be practicing doing certain things for single people, for people in relationships, for people in good relationships where you're getting along, how to make it better, for people that are going through troubled times, maybe even facing divorce, how to transform that, how to open our hearts again, to be open to the next step in our consciousness, to go from the more traditional male roles, female roles, to our modern reality where we're equal, where women have the equal opportunities of men to express their male side, and men have the equal opportunity to connect with love and nurturing and ecstasy and joy without depending on drugs to get there, but by depending on each other and the ways we need to love each other and to be clear about that. Ways for women to be on their male side, but come back to their female side in harmony, and for men to go to their female side, but be anchored, grounded in their masculine so they have no addictions, no procrastination, no anger. How to transform anger back into learning a lesson and finding love again, finding forgiveness. These are the things we have to manifest into our lives. And the greatest test, the gym we have to go to build those muscles, is dating and intimate relationships. We need to have relationship mastery. The potential is always already there. We're in that timeline where it's possible. We can make this happen, but we need the guidance and to point out, don't do this in ways that you could never have imagined before. Then we'll continue the class for 6 weeks and we'll go into my favorite subject, which is enlightened sexuality, where you actually get to experience the ecstasy of making love, awakening your wholeness of being, which recharges you every time you make love and you look forward to it again and again, for both partners to be completely fulfilled in this process. And then that love radiates out in our lives, attracting more love and support for us as we can give more to the world and to each other. So, relationship mastery is understanding ourselves as men and women. We are different. We have different primary needs. We'll be exploring those and how, with that awareness, I can get the results I want, which is I want my partner to be happy. I want them to be fulfilled. I want them to share their love with me. How to balance that. And it's different for women and different for men. How to overcome these challenges where women feel, oh, they're only attracting narcissistic men. And men feel, oh, the women I meet, they're just not good enough. They're not happy. They're, what is it, the word? Well, I don't need that word right now, but they're difficult to please. How can we find the right person for us and bring out the right person in the potential partners we have? We are here in this world. Everything is available to us to help us to grow and to be more loving and to feel more loved, to make a difference, to help others. And our relationship mastery course is going to be so much fun. And what makes it different from other classes that I teach is I'll be talking for a while. And because you've joined the class, you can ask me questions and I'll be happy to work with you and answer your questions. We do that in a particular way where you'll write out your questions and Tangela will ask those questions of me and I'll be able to answer those questions. But I generally don't do that because in order to make sure the energy of the class is positive, I can't just let anybody throw their dirt on everybody. Some people take classes just to disrupt them. Some people take classes just to prove that you're wrong. Some people take classes just to prove you can't make me happy. I have a right to suffer. And my message is yes, we all suffer, but through love, we heal that suffering and we come back to joy and gratitude and happiness and love and making love. So I'm not here to have someone oppose me that they can't find love. No, these are people who are ready for love, who are committed to it, willing to learn. And so in that situation, it's very safe. for people to express their questions and their needs and their wants, and I'll be able to address those issues and give you the answers that you need. Because it's a very different thing to be able to read my books and apply it to your situation. This is why I do counseling. I still do counseling of couples. They've read my books, but it's like they haven't, because I help them take the ideas, the concepts, and apply it. So that's what we'll be doing with Tangela helping us. She'll be feeling the questions in, and then I will be giving the responses. And it's a whole different way of learning. And there'll be practical things, the tools that you'll be learning to do. For if you're single or if you're married, we'll try to cover both in every session.
Exactly. Thanks, John. And we see Hoda is asking how to join the class from Egypt. And that's a great question because we have people from all over the world joining. And all you have to do is go to soulsearch.io/relationship mastery. And this is a 6-week online course. We're going to meet live every Wednesday from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific. I know that for some of you, that's very late at night. So all of the classes will be recorded and you can watch them at your own pace, at your own time. You can also go back and watch the recordings, and you can watch the class and send in your questions. So you can send in your questions via email to us prior to the class. So if we can get to them then, or after the class, after you've watched a session and something's come up for you. So definitely, we'd love for you to join us live, but even if the time zone doesn't work for you to be able to join live every time, you can still join the class. You'll be able to participate. You'll be able to watch every replay, send in your questions, and we will do our best to get to your questions. And a lot of times people have very similar questions as well. So when you're asking a question for yourself, a lot of the time it's very applicable to many other people in the group who will be watching. And like John mentioned, whether you are single or dating or married or in a committed partnership, he's going to be giving a lot of tools and practices that are going to be very useful for all of us to be able to utilize. So it's going to start August 14th, meeting every Wednesday for 6 weeks. And you can register at soulsearch.io Relationship Mastery. If you have any questions, feel free to DM us or email us at info@soulsearch.io, and someone will get back to you right away with any questions you might have.
So I'd like to mention our other programs. We have free blogs, free classes as well at marsvenus.com. Go right to the front page. There's a free class to people introduce the basics of Men Are From Mars. We have a class for women only, which is Understanding Men. It's very powerful. It's a 6-week class. We have a class on Secrets of Great Sex that I teach. These are important classes that we need to educate ourselves to achieve this goal that I've been exploring today, and healing ourselves, healing our relationships. So that's one support which is available. We also have as I talk about the importance of estrogen and relationships for women and testosterone for men with motivation and not procrastinating, achieving your goals. What I found is one of the biggest obstacles for men to produce testosterone, the biggest, is belly fat. Okay, when you have belly fat, as we get older, our estrogen levels go up. It plants fat on our bellies. You can't exercise it away, but you can, applying these behaviors that I talk about and learning how to lose the belly fat. So I've discovered a program, peer-reviewed study, 3 different peer-reviewed studies, and they're the only ones proving that in a month you can lose 10 to 15 pounds, sometimes 20 pounds of that extra weight. And it's a lovely program. I love it. Even in the first 2 weeks, I lost 10 pounds. I was so excited about it. And it just feels so good to have that energy of losing the extra weight that we carry around with us. But more importantly, for males, it is a powerful source of the testosterone we need to regulate stress and motivate us in our lives. And for women, the excess weight, it becomes a source of estrogen for you rather than your behaviors stimulating estrogen. Many women don't even feel the need to be in love. They don't feel the need to have a man in your life because their man is the food they eat. The fat is producing extra estrogen, too much estrogen. So you get too much estrogen rather than generating the right amount of estrogen for you at that time of the month. When you have fat, extra fat, you need fat. Fat's good. Fat produces estrogen. But when you have too much estrogen after ovulation, you get something called estrogen dominance. And that pushes down what needs to be the case is your progesterone needs to be higher than your estrogen. So having that extra fat will cause depression, anxiety, PMS, all those problems tend to go away. Anxieties, depression, both in men and women, tend to go away when you start losing the excess fat that's surrounding your organs and starting to suffocate them and causing aging. So there's the health benefits, but for me, the relationship benefits of increasing the energy level, increasing the balance of testosterone in men and healthy testosterone levels in women, rather than excess estrogen at a time in your cycle where you don't need that extra estrogen. That's one. And two, at a time where you do need estrogen, it's not so much that you need estrogen, it's you need to make estrogen. And when your brain gets the signal that you have plenty of estrogen, then you don't have the motivation to make estrogen. A simple way to understand this is what's happening with women when they take birth control pills is if they basically have another source of estrogen or you're taking estrogen, then you don't feel the need to make estrogen. So when you don't feel the need to make estrogen, then your brain goes into, okay, let's balance that estrogen with testosterone. That's you go to your male side too far. So it's the need to make estrogen that motivates you to relax, do things you enjoy, depend on others, communicate in ways that can bring you more love. And the same thing for men. If you were to take testosterone, it doesn't protect you from heart disease at all. We know that all heart disease happens in men when their testosterone levels are low and also when their belly fat is big. Because what does that belly fat do? It suppresses your testosterone. It literally converts your testosterone into estrogen. And then that estrogen puts on more belly fat. So we're going to break that cycle. And how to break that cycle? Most important is to get rid of the excess fat on the body. And not the double blind studies, clinical studies, but 3 that are peer reviewed. So many programs talk about how you can lose weight in 2 weeks and 3 weeks by starving yourself. Whenever you starve yourself, and I made the mistake, I have to admit, I was teaching intermittent fasting. It was so good. I got to where I could effortlessly just have 1 meal a day. I trained my body to eat 1 meal a day. Well, guess what happened? My metabolism slowed down dramatically. My energy levels started to drop. And that's not healthy. And if I actually ate a meal, then I would feel tired afterwards because I didn't have the metabolism to burn the fuel. So I had to reestablish myself with this high protein diet where you actually don't eat less, you eat more. and you actually can lose weight while you're also building muscle mass. So I'm actually stronger than I was before. And yet I've lost my basically 10, 15 pounds from me. I look in the morning, it's 15 pounds. And then later in the day, I'll look, I've eaten food, whatever, it goes back up. But I start every day now, 15 pounds less. What an amazing experience just within a month. This is a gift we can give to ourselves. Of course, if you have more extra weight on your body, it goes down much faster. It's quite dramatic. So we have coaches that can do this. Tangila's doing this now. So many of my friends are doing this. They just see. I was just at a party. We say, what did you do? What did you do? I said, well, talk to this person. They'll explain to you what I did rather than my explaining it now, whatever. It's a coaching program, but it's a free coaching program. And Tangela, how do they talk to our coaches on this?
So for those of you who are interested in this health and wellness program, I'm also doing it. My husband is doing it. We've also lost weight, which is great. We've lost a few inches, and in the first week we did lose 5 pounds. We have to weigh it and see what we did for the second week, but definitely feeling lighter and actually not feeling famished or hungry because we're actually putting in protein and nutrients into our body. So I feel like it's definitely something that people should look into. And if you're interested, just contact us. You can visit marsvenus.com. You can also DM us or email us on Soul Search through Facebook and Instagram. And then what we'll do is we'll connect you to the coaches and the people who can really help you in choosing the right program for you. But it's really amazing to feel the difference in energy. And John, we had a question coming in from Dana just asking, do your estrogen theories apply past menopause?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And we'll get into that in the course.
Mhm.
You see, when you're younger, your body sort of demands it of you. As you get older, then you have to know when I need to be making my estrogen, when I need to be making my testosterone, and what are the signs they're out of balance, and what do I do to find that balance? We're younger, these things happen automatically, and we're supposed to gain the wisdom of how to regulate it as we get older. And if we don't know how to choose our behaviors, our attitudes, our interactions, then we're going the wrong direction, and we age too quickly. We have mood problems, we have intimacy problems. So many men, I'm in my 70s, they're not enjoying the best time of life for making love. I mean, this is just the best time, but you've got to be able to generate the hormones of that. And ironically, to be making love, you have to have the right hormones, but you need to be making love in order to generate more of those right hormones. They're very reciprocal. So we'll be exploring that in the class as well, which is before menopause, during menopause, after menopause. These are certainly realities. And same thing for men, because men's testosterone on average is going down. And as they get older, mine has gone up along with my estrogen going up. And that's our goal, which is to be able to have very strong masculine energy and very strong feminine energy for all of us, learning how to maintain that balance. It's a natural sort of thing for men's estrogen levels to go up as we go older. It's natural for women's testosterone levels to go higher as they get older. But our challenge as human beings is as men, to keep our testosterone high as the estrogen rises. Then we have both compassion and wisdom. For women, it's how to maintain the feminine energy while your masculine energy is rising. And biologically, it's very challenging if we don't have the behaviors to stimulate the healthy hormones. What is different is that for women, they don't need the same amount of estrogen, but they need the balance with testosterone. So testosterone is not overshadowing their estrogen levels. And in a sense, they're not letting their masculine overshadow their feminine energies. We use those hormones because that's the physical reality that is indisputable. And then that helps us to regulate and see, oh, why does this feel so good? And why does this not feel so good? But ironically, I can go on and on with these things, but ironically, when you go out of balance, it usually feels really good in the beginning and then feels awful later. And the things that are putting you in balance often take willpower and don't feel authentic. They don't feel like I want to go there. And then when you get there, you feel like this feels really good. It's like going for a walk, maybe going to getting some exercise. Doesn't feel good right away, but then after a while, you feel so good. You've got to go through that resistance, because when you fall out of balance, it's always easy, comfortable, automatic to walking on a tightrope, falling all off. Now, but to maintain balance takes focus, takes willpower, takes attention, takes intention. And so you have to go against what the natural inertia is to fall down. You have to go against that automatic feeling of this feels good. It's like you're eating ice cream. You've got to 2 scoops and hold on here. Otherwise, you're going to put on some pounds unless you've got a good metabolism. So that's my goal now, is as I get older, to make sure my muscle mass is increasing and my metabolism is increasing, which is by eating more protein uh, at different times of the day. And this is Dr. Arciello, who figured this out, who wrote a book on it. very excited about it. I tested it out. And like for me, when something works, I want to share it with everybody. And of course, it fits in perfectly with my relationship message. You're just guaranteed more energy and more love as you start shedding the pounds in a way that keeps them on. I know many people are thinking, oh, yeah, I go on a diet and then it comes back and it comes back worse. That's because you lowered your calories. You lowered your nutrition during that time. Your metabolism goes down. What we're doing is increasing your metabolism, giving you more food as part of the program. So this will be very, very exciting for you to try this, to do this. It's an investment. It's a commitment to following a rigid schedule, somewhat of a rigid schedule, of eating more every 4 hours. And you'll get the details of it. It doesn't have to be absolutely rigid. If you mess up a few times, it's not going to make a big deal, but you'll see the results. And that's one of the things is when you can see immediate results and feel good, uh, it keeps you motivated to do something really, really healthy. So we support that along with our regular meditations. I want to remind everybody that these meditations, the ones you like the best, you can replay again and again. I did one of my meditations. I listened to it. What's it like to listen to me doing a meditation? It was better for me than doing the meditation. I really enjoyed it so much. So I know that we're providing something of great value for everyone. And I hope everyone can share this with other people because the more connected we are around the world, and be sure to send us your notes. I'm calling from Sydney. I'm calling from, someplace in India. I'm calling from this place. That you're sending those notes, bring that awareness as Tangela reads it out. It's like we are always already everywhere, but then suddenly we show up here and we show up here, we show up here, and it makes it more concrete in our awareness that we are these universal beings and that we're all connected. So thank you for joining in and showing up in our little box here telling us that you're here.
Yep. Thank you so much for everyone joining in. You can join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. here on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and you can also watch all of the replays at soulsearch.io/radiant mind. You can see the link right below. So we invite you to definitely watch the replays and share them with your friends, your family, your loved ones. I know from the comments that you guys are putting in, you're receiving so much support, and you can continue to share this with everyone around you. And definitely join us for the 6-week relationship mastery class. We did have a question coming in from Dana. We won't go into the full answer today, but she was asking, my husband and I were separated for 10 years. We are both single right now, and he wants to reconcile. How is that approached after so much time apart? Can someone change truly? And that is the type of question that John will be able to answer and really get into during the 6-week online relationship mastery class, which is starting Wednesday, August 14th. John, but can people truly change? Is it possible to reconcile after 10 years?
It's my whole life helping people change so quickly. Just like you can change the habit of putting fat on your body, you can raise your metabolism, you can open your hearts with love. People can change. Of course, that's my whole life, is seeing it right before my eyes every week. I get the pleasure of enjoying watching couples who are estranged fall in love again, overcome their challenges. And some people need a little more guidance with that, or more personal application. And I'm able to apply it, and it works every time. It works every time. The improvement takes care of the people that come to me. Just have to say that's all I know is the people that come to my classes. There's transformation, real change that happens. And I forgot to mention that, for those that have the potential to come visit me, I am all day Friday. This Friday is my in-person class of relationship mastery, which is all day Friday, all day Saturday, and half day Sunday, right here in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. We still have some openings. There's still room for people if they want to come. You can just contact us at marsvenus.com under events, and you can sign up and get the information of how to get here. It's a, like a 35-minute drive from the San Francisco airport. You just take an Uber to the Corte Madera Inn, And there we start on Friday morning at 9 o'clock, and we go till dinner. Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, we go till dinner, and then we go to around lunchtime, 1 o'clock on Sunday. So you can fly back out or and visit San Francisco. The weather's great here. Have a wonderful little romantic getaway and enjoy spending the weekend with other amazing people, singles and couples who want to make their lives better. Such a united intention of growth and change. So you're welcome to visit us as well.
Exactly. And so we have the link just in the comments below here. Join John Gray's August 2nd through 4th weekend live relationship course in the Bay Area. You can visit marsvenus.com events to sign up for that. There's still space. And also, you can join us at the Soul Search Burlingame Enlightenment Expo on Sunday. John will be there August 4th in the afternoon after he finishes up his live relationship course in the morning. He'll be with us in the afternoon. So definitely come by. We'll be in Burlingame. It's a beautiful hotel on the water, and we have all types of amazing experiences to support your soul and spirit expansion. So we have so much happening. And of course, for all of you who are not with us here in the United States and able to join us in person, we have the upcoming 6-week online relationship mastery course. You can register online. We'd love to see you. And as John mentioned, answering Dana's question, people can change, and he has all of these tips and tools and support to really provide us in supporting us in enhancing our relationships and coming back together if we are, estranged and wondering if we should come back. So definitely join us for the 6-week online experience. And if you're interested in the health and wellness program, reach out to us as well, and we will be connecting you to the coaches that can support you in that program.
And another service that we provide at another website is marsvenuscoaching.com. And we have over 600 Mars Venus coaches around the world coaching people on improving their relationships, achieving their goals in life. And, coaching can be very, very valuable for people. And a Mars Venus coach does normal coaching, but then integrates into that a different style of coaching people if they're a man, a different style of coaching people if they're a woman. And if they're needing better relationships, we certainly have the extra keys for improving people's relationships as Mars Venus coaches. But also, people could be single, wanting to date, get that support, or just being able to follow through and achieve your goals. That's what coaching is so good for, is that have somebody you can talk to, help process your negative emotions, let them go, help to keep you accountable to achieve your goals. These are all important skills that important support that our coaches provide. And maybe you're interested in becoming a Mars Venus coach. We have a 3-month coaching program, which works for people to start becoming coaches, or for people who are already coaches to enrich their knowledge base. We have 5 different classes that you can learn to teach with a whole process of inviting people to come to your classes. And from there, you get clients. So it can be a real helpful support for you to share this knowledge in the world. And some of our coaches do it quite well. Other people as a source of financial support for them. Others do it because they just want to help the community. And it seems that when you give advice to people, you start listening to it yourself better. I know that what's kept my marriages going great is, after Bonnie passed, I'm in another marriage, but throughout my marriage with Bonnie, if I'm coaching somebody, they always seem to be going through something that I was going through, and seeing them help me remember what to do about it. So it's a way of enriching our own lives by applying this knowledge to help others. So that's another option for people that have that tendency of wanting to help in that way.
Wonderful. So thanks so much, John. And again, more questions coming in. Anna asking, is there a way I can convince my partner to work out with me? He went once with me after requesting repeatedly. Any advice? So Anna, definitely Join us for the Relationship Masterclass starting Wednesday, August 14th. And John will be able to jump in and answer, because a lot of us women have these kind of questions. How do we convince our partners to do things with us?
Yeah, well, it's all learning how to ask for help and how to motivate men. And that's going to be a whole section of the class. You'll learn.
Wonderful. So thank you so much, John, for the amazing meditation. All of you, thank you for joining in with us for the meditation and also staying with us for this conversation. We look forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday back here for the Radiant Mind meditation with John, and also starting August 14th for our Relationship Mastery class. Thank you so much, John, and thanks to everyone.
Bye. Have a wonderful day.
Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. for the Radiant Mind meditation with Dr. John Gray, the #1 trusted relationship expert, the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. What many people don't know is that John Gray spent 9 years as a celibate monk and the personal assistant to the founder of Transcendental Meditation. During this time, he learned powerful meditation practices and techniques, which he has developed and refined for the last 50 years. He now brings us his resonance, wisdom, and energy every week on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. on the Soul Search Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Join us every Wednesday.